Wow, that's exciting. Hold up. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna die soon.
Congratulations.
So we're at virtual reality episode 5, and we gathered some interesting, juicy, funny, disturbing, whatever you want to call it, stories off of the lovely website Reddit that nothing can ever go wrong there with people asking for internet opinions. We got Squishy again. We got myself. This time we got Nana with us. So this is going to be mad fun. And we drag Shadow again because he doesn't get a choice. And we're not going to talk about that in the background. I'm not responsible for any injuries that occur during this video.
Wait,
I come so they let me out of the cage they keep me in.
He's 5 feet away from me.
He's breached containment.
I'm the one who's getting injured here.
It's a warning tap. Oh my lord. But, so, I don't really know how to classify what we have found today. We both scoured from Am I the Asshole to, best of Redditor updates, because those typically have the niches that tickle the tism,
Yeah?
So the first one actually comes from... Originally, it was True Off My Chest, and it made its way to Best of Redditor Updates, and it is titled, My Boyfriend Comes Home Injured Every Day and Won't Tell Me Why. I, 26 female, live with my boyfriend, 23, and he is the love of my life. He's always been honest with me about everything, but recently, I feel like he's hiding something bad from me, because for 2 months, every time he returns home from work, he is bruised and injured. Not like a small injury, but really visible injuries like bruises, cuts on the abdomen, legs, bad injuries. The worst injury was 13 days ago. He came home at midnight. I was still awake doing some work, and his whole hair and face was messed up. He has a middle part, and it was like some of it was cut off. He had bad swelling on his cheekbone area. He had a black eye. When I saw him, I asked him, what the fuck happened? And he told me he didn't want to talk about it. I've tried to do anything just to get some information from him, but he refuses to give me any. He keeps telling me not to worry about it. I've told him I'd also go to the police to report what's happening, but he's pleaded with me every time not to, or he'll break up with me. I'm so worried for him because I feel like I can't do anything. He hasn't done anything to deserve any of this, and I've been trying to come up with anything, but I can't. He's truly a person who lives a simple life. Only reason I've come up with is that my boyfriend is one of the few minorities in a very conservative city, but even then, he has friends, connections, etc. So that is it for the very first bit of that, and we do have a few relevant comments. So some comments were stating, he owes money, and OP responded, I really doubt that. He's never been the type of person to do something. As far as I know, he isn't in any serious debt. Someone did make a comment on the Fight Club, but asked what he does for work, and he's a pediatric nurse.
You could have urges. Okay, if you're a pediatric nurse, you might want to sock one of your patients, alright? Sock someone else. Fight Club. Can't talk about it.
Nana's stuck on Fight Club.
With a lot of kids, okay?
Some of these kids are assholes.
You get
wow, right hook.
Haymakers at baby
You
makers.
get stressed out. You need somehow to take it. I mean...
Yeah, dude. Some of these kids are asses, alright? Just fucking,
I can agree. Little crotch goblins. So, the update is, I asked my boyfriend yesterday what is really going on. I threatened to rope in my family, the police, and even break up with him. I told him he is jeopardizing my own safety, and he has to tell me. After a lot of stalling, he eventually told me what it is. He's in a fight club. I guess the jokes were right. He's actually in a fight club like the movie. However, it's more complicated than that he's just bored. But let's be honest, though. He followed the rules of Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
Don't talk about Fight Club. I know, that's what I'm saying. You can't talk about it. And he's coming back beat up over and over. It can't be he can't be, especially since they said he was pediatric, he can't be like a guard. I'm like, dude, Fight Club.
So, he told me his family, he told me his family in Vietnam, specifically his mom, are pressuring them to give him more and more money. They have told him that if he doesn't give them enough, they'll cut contact with him. Even though we both have pretty good jobs, he's struggling to reach their demands, and he doesn't even eat or ask for money. He heard about Fight Club from his friends, and at first he thought it wasn't any good, but he told me he's getting really stressed from his family situation, and getting hit would relieve some of it. Once he heard money was on the line, he decided to join. That's the reason he refused to say anything, because like the movie, he followed the first rule of Fight Club. It's also why he comes home sad. He's only using Fight Club as a way to cope and earn some money on the side. This is also somewhat the reason he would plead to me to not contact the police whenever I told him. Even though the actual Fight Club itself isn't illegal, a lot of illegal activities, like drugs, are being done in and of itself there. I've talked to him about helping him with some money or therapy, but he told me he wants to deal with his issues himself. He told me he doesn't want me to stress myself out just to help him. For now, I'll stay out of it, but I told him I'll be helping myself by helping him if he's in a bad situation.
Dude, fuck his family, dog. You're gonna cut me off for no money? Boop! Gone.
I would also, I'd be blunt, I would tell the family, like, your son is getting obliterated because he loves you guys so much. Also, why are they asking for money? Is that like a family traditional thing?
Dude, I don't know. I don't have any family overseas. It's just in the U.S., so...
I'll say, like...
be something like, hey, we're your parents. We took care of you until you were on your feet. Now we're old. You take care of us.
You legally had to.
I was saying, like...
You took care of me until I was 18. You legally had to. Fuck you. It's over. Beep.
I was like, my parents don't ask for me for money at all. The only arrangements has been
$800, so...
Oh.
Yeah. Money in families is complicated.
He's probably not paying for his and I's wedding, so I don't give a fuck. Just fucking...
Well, like, how much money are they asking for that you have to sign up for a Fight Club? Like, that seems like they're exceeding like a $50 to $100 a month. Like, how much are you demanding that you feel the need that to obtain this money
That's way
through
more than
various
that.
activities?
He's like a pediatric nurse or
right?
doctor.
Yeah.
Dude.
As a
making
pediatric
money.
daughter, if they're asking more than what he can give them, then they're fucking out of their minds.
I'm looking up pediatric nurse pay.
Like Vietnamese currency anyway. I know ours is way, like, our money's worth way more. So even like conversion shit, you could be like giving him like $50 and it'd be like maybe 100 or something over here, you know?
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, so a pediatric nurse
Imagine waking up as a parent,
in 2022 was $81,000 yearly, but ZipRecruiter states that you can make $134,000 yearly being a pediatric nurse.
Yeah, bitch. What?
So if he's having to
I
sign
would just
up
never
for
talk to the parents
other
ever
shit,
again.
yeah,
No contact.
no.
I know it's a different
You want to cut
culture though in
contact
the
with me?
US.
Cool. Do me the favor.
I know, like, specifically a culture around, like, Asian parents, they, like, super tight-knit with their children, right? So maybe that's why he feels like he can't just be like, fuck you, because I would have immediately just cut him off. Like, you're asking for that much money? How was your day, daughter? Like, hello?
Yeah, what about I love you, or I'm so proud my son is
I
a
love
nurse
you.
for children?
Yeah, like, hello? Yeah, no more talk. Suck my dick.
No more talk. No more.
Alright, but that brings us
bullshit.
to you, Squish.
Okay, Nana, since you are the guest here, pick
Yes.
one or two.
Dose.
All right.
That's cool.
I don't have to switch over to tab.
I don't speak Italian.
This
Fuck.
this also comes from Best of Reddit. This is, I found out my sister slept with my fiance and I'm not sorry about what I did after.
Oh, me neither. I would have seen red. Hello?
So, it starts like this. 30-year-old woman here. I have a sister who's just a year older than me. We've always had such a good relationship, so finding out about this one hurt. She might as well have just stabbed me in the heart. On top of that, I have been with my fiance since high school, and we've always been with each other through thick and thin. We were going to get married in a few months. I have no idea why on earth they did this to me. What's even worse was that our mom knew, and out of fear of getting involved, my sister apparently begged her not to say a word. She didn't tell me anything.
For a while, then. Oh.
Thankfully, my dad wasn't having it, and he spilled the beans to me. I have never been so angry in my life. Not only did I kick my fiancé out and throw out his stuff, some of it in the trash, but I decided to hurt my sister in another way. Why not do the same for my fiance? Simple. She's my sister. We've always had a good relationship until she decided to ruin it months before my big day, which I allowed her to be a bridesmaid in. You don't do that to anyone, let alone your sister. Your blood. My sister's big on gardening, so when she lost her dog, she made a garden for him. I knocked on her door. She didn't know that I knew, and of course I played nice. I moved on to what she did with my fiance, and I slightly damaged her garden. I honestly just crushed a couple of flowers. Am I sorry? No. Her excuse sent me over the edge. It just happened. Isn't a reason.
God.
Sleeping with my fiance just happened like that, I guess. I told her I didn't want her speaking to me anymore, and that... Hold on, I'm itching my eye.
Happened, babe. His dick just kind of fell inside of me.
You go, whoops, and there go my clothes! Like, what the fuck?
It's a dissolve toggle.
Dude, I would have done worse. Step on her flower, I would have bombed her house. It's on fire, everything's gone. Hello?
Dude.
Oh my god. I thought she was
more.
about to say something crazy like she killed her dog. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, that would have been extreme.
There's more. There's
Okay,
more.
I'm in.
So I told her I didn't want her speaking to me anymore, and that I also didn't want our mom to speak to me. My fiance won't say a word since I threatened to call the police if he ever went near me again. Yes, I made my sister cry and scream at me, but I genuinely felt like I should be the one crying. She knew how important getting married to me was, and now I can't experience that. Pair that with the fact that I had to hear this from my dad, not my mom, not my bum excuse of a sister or fiance. Hell, even my own mother didn't say a word to me. It's like she lets my sister run her. Fuck you, Tia. Fuck you, Logan. If you ever see this, I'd be absolutely delighted. There's an edit. Since so many people keep bringing this up, there's like 3 edits. Okay. Since many people keep bringing this up, I'm upset that I lost a relationship I've always put 100% into. I was excited to get married, of course, but then this news came out. It really hurt me. I didn't want to believe it at first. I almost thought my dad was pulling my leg. Later, turned out to be true. I swear I have trust issues now. Edit number 2. Thanks again for all the suggestions. It's helping me feel more confident in exposing them. I'm just a bundle of nerves right now because I know shit's gonna hit the fan again. When I do so, I'll try my best to come up with an update. And the last one said, when I say I decided to hurt her, it's because I kind of ruined something so meaningful to her. I feel like most people, besides on here, that would be too far. That's just how I feel. I understand it's not what you guys wanted. Clearly it worked a bit though, since she thought I was a so damn psychotic for that. Like I said, I don't feel sorry for hurting her that way.
I would have been worse.
Fire. Gasoline everywhere.
I was gonna say,
Over.
fucking
In
scorch
jail
earth
for
the
arson.
garden.
Yeah.
I would have done
Or you
if
can,
she
like-
buried. Here's the thing: if the dog was buried in the garden, I would have dug up the dog and then set it on fire.
God!
See, no. I don't know if I could touch animals.
Dog is bameless there. Holy shit.
I was like, dog did nothing wrong.
The
Dog's
flowers in
fault.
her garden, like cut off all the buds on them and like put them in a basket and then take like photos with it. Just like, look at all this nice flowers I got myself, you know? And then she notices her garden's ruined because I took all of her flowers. Dude,
Yeah.
that I would have
And
done.
burned it.
And burned it. And the house. Probably would have been in jail for assault. I'm just saying right now, if I already have like a bad relationship with my sister, if I ever get into a relationship and I found out she slept with him, I'm catching assault charges on both of them.
I'll say that's definitely throwing some
I'm going to
haymakers,
jail.
but like also
I'm going to jail.
if she crushed the garden or whatever for the sister, I want to know what she did to the fiance, because I'll be honest, violence is the only option in my book, but I want to know what she did to him.
Violence.
And the
Other
mom.
than, like, kicking him out and taking out all his stuff, I would have burned his clothes, done a little dance in front of it. Oh my god.
Make it a little
White girl music
witchcraft
playing,
seance.
like, kick his shit in. Oh yeah. It would've
Also,
been
the
over.
mom's an asshole, though, for
These people
apparently
better than
knowing
me.
and not saying anything. Like,
yeah!
you just picked a
Good
favorite
on
right there.
Dad.
Mhm.
Good on Dad for being like, hello? No, I didn't raise a hoe. Yeah, so this is what happened. You know, good on Dad.
I
Fuck
say,
yeah.
why would the
Yeah.
mom keep that
Sucks.
hidden? Like, because I know
Cunt
damn well with
punch.
my fiance, if I trust this man more than my life, right? But if hypothetical that I'm gonna throw in the air and make myself angry about, if he were to ever cheat on
Oh,
me, his
God.
mom would tell me immediately.
See,
Yeah,
the
that's
thing is,
just a shit mom. A shit person.
I don't know where he went. He went to the door. But if his mom found that kind of shit out, dead,
Yeah, gone.
Yeah.
gone, obliterated.
Mm-hmm.
His mom is the sweetest little Southern woman I have ever met.
Oh, Southern woman? Yeah, no, he'd be dead.
And literally, he's like, I'm more afraid of what my mother would do to me if I did something to you rather than your family.
That is I gave birth to you, I put you in
That's
this world,
fair.
I can take you out.
That's a good mom too,
Yes.
right there. Just being like, you ever cheat on a woman you ever date, I'm cutting off your dick. Like that. Good mom. Good mom.
W mom. This story's mom, not W.
Not
L
in the
mom.
story. Not W. Yeah. L mom. Let's go, Dad.
Give the dad a medal.
Oh.
I hope he watches TV shows like the one in our last story.
Yes.
For context, on the last episode, there was a D&D dad who was super chill with his parents,
Oh
or
my
not his parents,
God,
but with his
that's
kids.
awesome.
And he watched The Princess Bride with
Yes.
them and then beat the shit out of his brother, and his brother had it coming. It was awesome. W
Nice.
dad.
That makes
We
me
love
happy.
W
Let's
dads.
go. We love good dads.
Oh my lord, but that actually puts us still in best of updates because it has the
Another one?
juiciest
Fuck
ones.
yeah.
Always do.
Fuck yeah.
So this was originally posted in True Off My Chest, made its way to Redditor updates, and it's just titled, 2 tampons mean my marriage is over.
What? What? What?
So
I'm
I,
sorry.
29
Come
female,
again?
have been with my husband, 30 male, for 7 years, married for 4. I have...
Yes!
Are we talking?
Girlfriend's a victim!
Are we talking?
The math's not mathing!
Wait,
Oh,
hold on.
okay.
Rewind. Repeat.
7 years. So she was... No, that means she would have been 21, 22 when they got together.
Yeah. Yeah.
For 7 years. Wait, she's 21 now, right?
She's 29.
No, she's 29.
Oh my god, I thought she said 21! I was like, oh, girl's a victim! I thought she said 21! I was like, what the fuck?
That would have been a whole different case on our hands.
Oh, okay. I'm okay now. Yes.
Oh, my
Still
lord.
confused by the title,
Okay,
but I
when
am
we're
now
talking,
okay.
when we're talking 2 tampons, are we talking?
I'm not
Are
ready.
we talking 2 tampons?
I'm not ready.
So, I have never had reason to suspect he was unfaithful to me or even remotely dissatisfied with our marriage. He likes to joke that we're still living the honeymoon phase nearly 5 years in and 2 kids in. I wouldn't have questioned that or him if it were not for the
That ain't the
surprise I
honeymoon
found in
phase,
his
that's
car
the misery.
last month. While unbuckling our daughter from our car seat, I noticed something slotted between the cushions. I pulled it out and saw that it was a tampon. This wouldn't have been unusual had I not had an IUD
what the
that
fuck
has
is
stopped my
unusual?
periods for the past year. I didn't even recognize the wrapper style. I brought it to my husband's attention, and he didn't seem to understand what it was, let alone why I was holding it, until I told him where I found it
Oh,
and why I was
bullshit.
almost certain not mine. He shrugged and said it was probably his coworker Fiona. It's not uncommon for my husband to carpool to lunch with his coworkers. We're both fairly close to Fiona and her husband, so I figured it was entirely possible the tampon had slipped out of her purse whenever he had driven them off or offered her a ride. No biggie. I put it out of my mind until we had dinner with Fiona and her husband a couple of weeks later. I had sincerely wanted to believe my husband. I just couldn't get it out that it's been tucked in the car seat and how my husband had seemed to not have any regard for it whatsoever. Maybe playing dumb, I don't know. I did something that now I feel kind of crazy for doing. I faked an emergency and asked if Fiona had any tampons while we were out together. She handed me one almost identical to the tampon I found in our back seat. I breathed a sigh of relief. So the tampon was there, probably the same tampon here. In all likelihood, it was an innocent explanation as to what had been left in the backseat in the first place. I thought I'd seen the last of the out-of-place feminine hygiene products until I found another tampon this morning, this time in my sock drawer. I feel physically ill at the thought of my husband having an affair and even more nauseated at the thought that the woman might have left these tampons out for me to find. If my husband's coworker, why would she have given herself away by offering me one the other night? In any other situation, I would want to talk to my husband about this, but I feel too sick, too embarrassed to approach him for what I found. What should I do? Relevant comment is, I've had a period 30 years and never once put a tampon in the sock drawer. Trust your gut, get cameras. OP said, neither have I, and I've considered so many explanations for the tampons that wouldn't implicate my husband, but none of them make sense. I'm terrified to set up cameras if it means confirming what I suspect right now. They asked if Fiona has been over at the house at any given time, and she responded, she's been to her house many times and vice versa. To my knowledge, she wasn't over any time in the past week, so if she planted that second tampon, it would have she had to have found a window of time when OP wasn't home. Anytime her and her husband visit, we all stay downstairs. You'd have to really go out of your way to make it to the bedroom, i.e. around the dogs, over a safety gate, and past the other bedrooms. Not saying it's impossible, but definitely tricky to do on a quick bathroom break, I would guess. They asked how old the kids are, if they maybe found the tampon and put it in a random place. The kids are 2 and 4, so it doesn't rule out like a mischievous streak, but she can't imagine how they'd get their hands on one, and 2 at that. So, what are your guys' thoughts before I get into the update?
See, the car is one thing. Why is
The
it
sock drawer is an entirely different thing. But
Well,
I'm
not
gonna be
even if you're
honest,
trying to
when
hide-
you said 2 tampons, my marriage is ruined, I thought 2 tampons.
I was like, hello? Girlfriend, those expand. What do you mean 2 tampons? Hello? But now you're saying it like in the drawer?
Someone's cheating. Someone's cheating.
I was about to say, the second they were like, oh, it's in the drawer, I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Why is that there?
Oh, you guys aren't gonna like this
That's
update.
That's so strange. No. Okay, I'm ready.
No,
So,
ready.
18 days later, OP puts, contemplating every possible source of 2 tampons has been a personal hell the past few weeks, but I wanted to share an update. Shortly after posting on here, I told my sister what happened. Excuse that. Anyway, the tampon in the backseat and the sock drawer. And my husband's cluelessness. The tampon from Fiona, all the things I suspected but didn't want to believe. We compared tampons, save for the backseat one I had already discarded. They were a match, just in different, abnormalities. I haven't left either in place where my husband or daughters could have found them and moved them around. My daughters didn't know what they were or where they had come from. My sister is convinced it was Fiona either sleeping with my husband, messing with me, or both. Direct confrontation of either party still seemed like a bad idea, so she suggested inviting Fiona and her husband over for our Labor Day barbecue. Unfortunately, they already had other plans. My sister and I agreed that it'd be too soon to get cameras without any other evidence, so it was just a waiting game from there. Watching my husband for any changed behavior, there was none. Our house for any misplaced or foreign items, there were none. Even the girls for any new friends they might have met. My sister's husband was adamant on this last part, and partly why he was inclined to believe the tampons were harmless. If anything had been happening in and around our home, he said it would be nearly impossible to keep it from me and the kids, since my husband was the one taking them to and from daycare and most other activities throughout the week. I felt a good bit of consolation in that. It wasn't until my younger daughter, too, came down with something last week that I felt any differently. I wanted to be the one home taking care of her, but my husband insisted that I stay at work while he stayed with her. I was okay with that. My sister and her husband figured it was a good sign that he would take time off at a moment's notice, and at that point, We were already beginning to put the tampon fiasco behind us. By the third or fourth day, I was just happy to see a near-healthy child and a husband who was helping see her through it. Towards the end of that week, though, I came home to something strange. The toddler that I had left that morning in old PJ set was now dressed in a onesie I had never seen before with a tiny clip in her hair. I can't say I have the sharpest memory, but I have a pretty good sense of what my kids wear on a day-to-day basis, and particularly what kind of clothes they wear. I had sworn off full-length sleep onesies with snaps across the front before we'd ever had our second. The long snaps are just a pain, and they're a no-go for efficient diaper changes. It's not just something I would dress her in. My husband knows this much. He doesn't plan or buy the girls' clothes. He certainly doesn't accessorize them, so I was bewildered and kind of floored at the thought of someone around our sick child without my knowledge. Didn't think twice, went straight to my husband to ask if anyone had been over to see him or the girls. He seemed confused like before, asked me why I would think that, and that it had just been him and the kids all day. I asked him again if someone had stopped by to say hello. He denied it. He told me to calm down. I might have lashed out and come forward with the accusations right then and there, but our older daughter was in the room and she sensed something was up. In a calmer voice, I asked him a third time if anyone had been around our children, and my husband swore that the girls hadn't been around anyone but him, but he also denied buying new clothes or doing anyone's hair. With our daughter in the room and my emotions all over the place, I decided to leave it. I couldn't make sense of it. It hardly seems clearer now that I've driven myself half crazy with explanations that aren't adding up. Relevant comments for a couple of questions. The 2-year-old can only string a couple words at a time. So when I ask her about her time with her dad, clothes, beau, etc., she answers based on the cues I give. So, i.e., who gave you the pretty bow? She repeats pretty bow back to me, or mama and daddy over and over. My oldest daughter, almost 4, was at daycare that morning and she can't recall anything different. She doesn't remember the PJ change or the hair clip. So my guess is that she was changed sometime that morning, but I'm not really sure. I have a 45-minute commute to work, so stopping by for lunch isn't feasible. My sister has been kind enough to leave work and driven past a few times here and there, but she hasn't seen anything out of the ordinary, no cars. We have a Ring camera at the front door, and I've got the app on my phone with notifications on. Nothing there yet. If anyone has recommendations for discreet surveillance, I'd be open to it. I'm just the least tech-savvy person and worry another camera will be easy to detect. And yes, we got our carbon monoxide detectors tested regularly. That was an edit that was put in. I don't know why that mattered in this case. Someone asked if the hair clips could come from the daycare, maybe?
She was like, I'm kind of driving myself crazy.
That is fair. But someone asked if the detector, like, if the hair clips came from daycare. And she said, I could see the hair clips being a possibility, but less likely on the onesie. My younger daughter hasn't been to daycare in these days, and neither of them have returned with something like that I would have noticed, especially since that kind of onesie I hate with a passion. And so people's comment that they can't wait to, like, find out the ending, saying that my money's on Hollywood horror ending, hopefully dreamed up the dogs too.
Oh my god.
And we have one final update. Are you guys still on the cheating arc?
Oh my god. Yeah, but the second someone said paranormal, now I'm thinking imaginary friend.
Oh god.
There's a ghost in the house.
The final
And he
update
likes tampons.
Fucking
is
Casper's
16
bringing
days
around
later.
Yeah. Oh shit.
After nearly losing my mind over a hair clip and a onesie, I realized I wasn't getting anywhere with the accusations and half-baked guesswork. So I'd gotten so absorbed in the paranoia and misery of the situation I wasn't sleeping, eating, or caring for my kids the way I should be. I wasn't getting answers, so I decided to pull the trigger on the hidden cameras and have them shipped to my sister's house. The brother-in-law agreed to help with the install and setup. Before the cameras were ever delivered, though, my long-awaited confirmation came last week. A Ring notification alerted me that motion had been at the front door while I was at work, half expecting to see a delivery person, pet, or lawn care salesman for the 15th time. You can imagine my surprise when I saw a clip of a young woman leading my daughters into the house hand in hand with my husband and other daughter close behind them. The 2 girls were supposed to be in daycare. My husband was supposed to be at work. The woman, as far as I know, was living 2 states away with a court order keeping her there. I immediately called my husband to ask him what was happening, why this woman was in our house. He didn't answer, so I texted him. Even in his stupidity, he probably realized he messed up by going through the front door, known I had gotten the Ring notification and wanted to delay the inevitable. By the 5th or 6th subsequent call, he picked up. The woman on the camera was her husband's sister. As I would come to find out later, she was likely the source of both tampons, the onesie, and the bow. She is also a registered offender and a recovering addict who spent the better part of her adolescence and young adulthood coercing the silence of another one of my husband's family members after she had harmed them in very explicit ways. I hadn't seen or heard from her in years, and from the way my husband talked to her, I didn't expect I ever would, but here she was, in our house, with our children. Suffice to say, I was livid. It wasn't an affair at all. Somehow infinitely more disgusting knowing who it was and why all this had been happening. Apparently, my sister-in-law, fresh off another stint from rehab, wanted to reconnect and make amends with the people she had hurt. My husband was high on that list. My husband didn't want me to know, or worse, try to keep her family, our kids, away from her, so they'd been meeting in secret, often at our house when I was at work. They'd enter through their garage in my husband's car so the Ring camera at the front door wouldn't tip me off. She spent the night on a weekend I had been on a business trip and slept in our bed. She babysat our girls on a night my husband told me he had dropped them off at his parents'. She bought the girls' clothes and dressed my youngest in the onesie and the bow that my husband had promised on his life I had dressed her in myself. My husband swore that this was all in my head, the tampons, the onesie, the bow, all the rest. He was perfectly content to watch me agonize for weeks over a woman he insisted didn't exist. Shrugging off each progressively more utter, unsettling discovery like it was news to him and telling me I was being irrational. He insinuated that I was experiencing postpartum depression 2 years after I had given birth, 4 years after I had told him one of my biggest fears of motherhood was to suffer postpartum depression like my mother did with me, to not fully present to our babies and be left to a world of guilt and regret as they grew older. He told me I wasn't sleeping enough, that I missed the girls too much, that I needed to take a step back and reevaluate the state of my mental health. I gave him the benefit of the doubt because he's my husband, because no other version of events made sense. Now, after a month of this mindfuck, I have nothing to show for my trust on this pathetic situation and a lot of anger. And the relevant comment said, call the cops and a lawyer, and she responded, already on it, believe me, we're going scorched earth with this motherfucker.
Baby! Yeah, baby! Yeah, dude, cops would have been called immediately. Especially a registered offender. Oh my god. I would have caught another assault charge for my husband.
I would have preferred the cheating. Cheating is an easier argument, I think, to handle compared to, hey, babe, my registered sister has been over in secret watching our kids as, you know, an offender, changing our children as an offender.
Gaslighting you this whole time.
And like, sleeping in our bed. But you know what, babe? You're crazy.
You're postpartum depression. Oh! It takes 2 pounds of pressure to get that nose bone into someone's brain. Gone.
That's divorce.
Oh my god.
It's divorce, it's suing, it's violence.
Oh my god. Yeah, get her back out of here. That's a court order. She needs to be in her house, dude. Oh my god, she'd go back to jail.
But also, OP's sister and the brother-in-law are G's for helping.
Let's go. Dude, they're just like, we're in. I'm in.
They're like, cameras, got it, setting them up.
You're not crazy. I'm in on this too, bitch. Let's find out what he's doing. Hell yeah.
Exactly.
I hope she can get a refund on those cameras.
I would have kept honestly. Extra surveillance around the house. After that?
Yeah, I'd put one in the girls' room. That's a good point.
Guess what, girls? Your dad and I are now divorced. Woo! Oh my god.
Imagine the 2 year
divorce.
Divorce.
Luckily, you're small, so you won't understand what this means. You won't know what this means.
Oh, I think what's gonna...
Oh, man,
I think years in advance, too. So imagine these girls being, like, adults, you know? The kids are 18 now. Hypothetical again, playing devil's advocate. The mom will eventually be able to tell them why they got divorced. Because this wasn't a mommy and daddy just didn't like each other anymore. This was... Daddy let an offender near you guys.
Yeah, like
the kids need therapy. Because I don't know if they're safe. If the kid can only reiterate a couple of words here and there, they're not going to comprehend.
Yeah. They'll need it later in life and be like, so why'd you leave dad? You're not old enough for that yet. I hate dad. There you go. That's an answer.
For real. Anything
sucks.
else. Jesus Christ. From 2 tampons to discover that is a lot.
That's not where I thought it was gonna go. I was hoping for
That went
Poltergeist.
from zero.
Poltergeist. I was hoping Casper.
That went from
Casper's just
zero,
leaving random
zero
tampons
to
around.
100
Just like
real
this will make her
fucking
go
quick.
nuts. Woo! That was awful. Ooh, it's spooky.
Yeah, I would have rather been cheated on. I'm with you. I would
Right? I would have rather been cheated on or like a
Oh my
YouTube
God.
prank. Because you know the YouTubers that are like, yeah, babe, I
Yeah.
cheated, and they watch the meltdown and go, tee-hee, here's the camera. Like,
Tee, here's the camera. Tee.
I'm leaving you.
I don't understand. I don't understand that.
call Chris Hansen. He's on the case.
Oh shit.
Oh god.
Alright, what's the next one?
Fuck.
I'm ready for another
Alright.
The
one.
last one leads us to Squish.
So, yep.
Yes.
So, this is off the True Off My Chest Reddit. So this is different from
Oh,
the
shit.
other three.
Okay.
It literally just says, I ruined my life.
Well, this already sounds like this person might be
Their own problem. I'm making the assumption now.
They should get on VR chat.
making it now.
problem, it'll make it worse. You know what's even worse is they're gonna become a TikToker and we're gonna have to hear about it all the time. Alright? Just don't come on to VR chat.
Don't do it.
So stay in your lane, normie.
Don't do it.
Keep touching grass.
Alright, you guys ready?
Yes.
Alright. So, I met my ex-husband at 15. I fell for him immediately.
God.
We talked, hung out, messed around off and on until one day at 20 years old, I found out I was pregnant.
Well,
He said
Wow,
he
the-
wanted to raise this child with me. We figured we might as well get married because it was going to happen someday
Okay.
anyway.
No,
We
no.
were dirt poor, but he worked 13-hour days, and I was a stay-at-home
Okay,
mom
good
because we
dad.
both agreed that we wanted our child to have that.
Okay.
We made sacrifices to make sure she had everything, sacrifices to our pride, our wants, and needs. I
Okay.
ended up back in therapy 6 months later because I was struggling, no sleep, a husband who couldn't really help because he was exhausted from work, got diagnosed with PTSD, major depressive disorder, and undefined as... Wait, what? An undefined as yet mood disorder. What
Okay.
the fuck?
okay.
So like BPD,
Thanks,
but
sir.
undefined?
Yeah, it
Yes.
could be. Postpartum. I don't know.
Started working at getting myself healthy for my daughter, confronting all of my trauma. We bought a house, a beautiful
Nice.
4-bedroom old house. When she was 3, we found out I was pregnant again. We
Oh.
were so excited.
Oh
COVID
my
hit
God. Oh,
right
excited,
when
never
he
mind.
was born. So we got to spend that time together as a family. November of 2021, I found my whole world crashing down around me. My husband had cheated on me. I didn't know what to do. I felt my whole world crashing down around me. I tried to talk to him, to work through it with him, but I found out he lied to me again during those talks, and I decided I had to love myself enough to leave. So I did. I left the marriage with little to no money to my name, an entire adult life spent being a stay-at-home mom, no job skills, no school. But I thought I'd just have to pull myself up by my bootstraps and get it done. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I was broken. I was so broken and struggled to keep a job down. I struggled to keep my rent paid. I was so depressed. I'd go weeks without being able to get out of bed. Eating a block of cheese at 2 a.m. and then nothing for 3 days.
Oh,
Block of
shit.
cheese.
I tried
2
to have
a.m..
split custody.
I'm a block of cheese. Me too, but
I tried to have split custody, and I couldn't afford goods to put on the table. I have no family and friends who didn't help me and weren't there. I'd also gotten into an abusive relationship. I was sinking. I had no will to live through each day.
Oh,
I told my
shit,
ex-husband I was unable to take care of our kids at the time and asked him if he could please take full custody for the time being. I rotted. I had several psychosis episodes that lasted for months, got diagnosed with BPD and later autism. Attempted the offing thing twice.
Kermit. Okay. Oh, twice.
Went inpatient 4 times, teetered on the edge of drug and alcohol addiction, but
shit.
managed to pull myself out. Eventually, I just crashed. I had barely been scraping by for 2 years, and I just crashed and burned. I had to have a roommate move in to help me afford the apartment, and she fucked me over really bad, and we got evicted.
Oh.
I called someone who's like a
man.
big sister to me. We hadn't spoken since my divorce. She took me in and helped me get back on my feet. I've had this job now for a full year. Been in therapy consistently for a year. Have kept my vehicle paid on time. My credit is in shambles. I can't open a bank account, and I see my kids every week. But I look back every day at the photos of them right before the divorce, and I hate myself for being so absent for 2 years. I missed my daughter's first day of school, my son's first sentences, and learning how to ride a bike. I have so much regret and guilt, and I've been working so hard to try to save for a house, only being able to afford a room with my roommates. I want my children back so badly. I currently work with children and feel guilty every single day that I'm spending this time 5 days a week with other people's kids, and I see mine on the weekends. I never saw my life happening like this. I didn't think it would hit rock bottom so hard. I didn't think I'd spend every 2 years, wow, holy fuck, words.
You're all right.
I didn't think I'd ever spend 2 years of my life struggling to find a reason to breathe. And I fought so hard to get out of there, to get back to a healthy state of mind, and the work only starts there. There's a giant hole I dug for myself when I had no presence of mind for the consequences, and it's hard to not hate myself, not to live buried in regret and shame. I feel like I have failed so utterly, and I have to fight to love myself, to be the person my children deserve, and some days it feels like everything is working against me, but I'm trying.
Fuck cheaters. I think they're
Dude,
the
for
worst people in
real.
existence.
And they're some of the
Fucking
worst people in
honestly.
fucking existence,
Dude, and this mom is
no,
You couldn't
trying.
even tell your partner,
Hey, I'm sorry that, I did this thing. We're gonna have to break up. But instead, you're just like, you know what? I'm just never gonna fucking tell you. I'm gonna keep this little relationship right here and then fuck someone on the side.
fuck you guys.
I hate cheaters. You
Well,
are all
and
the
it's
worst
like-
people in existence. Oh,
This
because
mom
of
is
so many
trying
trust
so
issues.
hard. She's busting her ass just
Yeah.
to see her kids.
You want
If
me
you
to
feel a
read you a
spark
relevant
die in the
comment?
relationship too,
Can she get
talk to
alimony?
your partner and be like, hey, that'd be great.
If they signed a
Too many
prenup, yes.
people aren't mature
She,
enough.
I hope
for
she
that
can get
nowadays,
alimony.
let's be
OP, go to
honest.
court. Get
Blows my
money.
fucking mind, dude. Just be like, hey, yo.
What are the
I'm
relevant
having a
comments?
problem. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's talk about it. Should happen.
I'll read you the
But
I'll
cheating?
read you the top 3.
Come on.
Mhm.
Okay.
Actually top 2. The third one's irrelevant. So the first one is give yourself some grace. You were unwell and you did the responsible thing of making sure your kids were in a safe place. Even in your dark time, you were thinking about what's best for your kids. What's important now is the time you have with them going forward. The second relevant comment is first you have to realize you did the best you could during that time. Mental health is an illness. You don't have a whole lot of control over when you get sick. Give yourself a break. Why are you treating yourself in a way that you would never treat someone else? I am proud of you for trying.
Well, 'cause it's like with that too, it's a powerful moment for her to go through that healing and get that help that's needed to see her children, because I've seen personally the other side where it's mothers who don't go and fix their shit.
Don't.
And one, the kid sees
Yeah,
that,
they just
but two,
wallow,
it's
dude.
like you're destroying your life and your kid's life compared to what this mom is doing. You reevaluated, you got it together, and now you're building back up. And I do believe that one day she will be able to have the house, have her kids full custody, like sue that husband
yeah,
for
and I
everything.
think
If you guys
you'll
were
see that
married, infidelity. You can charge on
Dude.
that, right? That's illegal.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I've never been married.
I think it depends on where
Can
you're
I
at.
just say I had Mamba number 5 playing through that entire time I
That
was
is
reading.
lovely. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I feel like your kids would see that too. Once they're old enough, they'll know later. They're gonna know their dad's a dirtbag for doing
Oh,
that to
yeah.
their mom, and then their mom fell apart. But then they're gonna see that their mom was just working their best to get back to them.
Right?
And maybe one day they'll see the fucking Reddit story. Imagine that. Oh my
Yo,
god.
get these kids an
the
iPad. Make
Reddit
him an
story.
iPad kid.
Oh, I know. Make him iPad kid.
Guess what, kids? Your dad's a dirtbag.
Woo! Oh man. That's an insane journey, dude. I've been in the psych ward too. Those places are not fun. Oh.
I almost went once.
They're not great. I mean, I guess it depends on state, honestly, because I've seen some people, like, making TikToks in the fucking psych. Bitch, I got nothing. I ain't get my phone, nothing. I got some, like, comfy sweatpants. They put you on a bed and they're like, no depresso. And you're like, okay, but can you stop watching me shower? That's what they had to do, by the way. I had no privacy. Don't go to the psych ward. Unless you need it.
Did you get some novelty grippy socks, though?
I do. I still have them, actually.
See, they're useful at least.
I kept those.
Oh my god, they
See,
were staying forever.
I didn't go to a psych ward. I went to juvie.
Yeah, see, that's a little different.
See, that's like, because you couldn't go to jail, skishy. Alright? Hello?
See, and I worked for a juvie.
Behavior.
No, listen, I had to work for a juvie. I had to deal with kids that were like you, and it's a nightmare.
Okay, I got out. The last time I was in juvie, I got out on good behavior because some bitch tried. I went 3 times.
Good, fucking. Alright, lore drop.
Lord, so okay. Most of it was drug and alcohol possession. The second time was for trespassing. So the first and the third time was drug and alcohol possession.
Okay.
Okay,
Legally,
look,
Man,
man.
doesn't happen anymore. Okay, sorry. Continue.
So like the first 2 times,
7 years.
the first 2 times I got out because I was doing what I needed to do to get out. Like I was being a good juvenile fucking delinquent. The third time, some bitch tried to stab me with a sharpened end of a toothbrush. So I grabbed her wrist, took it out of her hand, and stabbed her in the shoulder, and I got out for self-defense.
Yeah, self-defense. You're good then.
See? Lore drop. Now you know.
Lore dropping.
Also, okay,
Israel.
hold on. At your
Stop.
juvie, did you ever have a kid who tried to make a tattoo gun out of a pen? Because I had like 3 kids who tried to do that.
I had a kid that tried to dig a hole in the ground. In the cement floor. In the cement floor. They were like, I'm gonna try and like get out of this bitch. And I'm like, during our lunch periods, like when we got out to go get food, I would stand at this girl's fucking just cell and just watch her try to dig a hole with a plastic spoon.
That's awesome. Mad respect
They
to
didn't make you
dedication.
give your spoons back?
No.
Oh, we had
That was
the
your first
opposite thing.
problem.
So the only utensils we were allowed to have were spoons, no knives or forks, because of course they're plastic, but they're like, okay, what if
Stop.
these depressed kids try to go, you know? But they would count how many spoons would go out, and they all had to come back. Otherwise, we were not leaving that area, because they're gonna be like, all right, which one of you's feeling a little sad today?
Give me the spoon. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, they took our utensils back.
Gone forever.
We weren't allowed to have knives outside of the like lunch
No
area.
shit.
But people found ways. Like I said, that chick sharpened the end of a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Juvie's
hello, Mother
interesting.
entering my room.
I did work for one for like 6 months, and I was not mentally strong enough to continue working for that long. I ended up quitting. After telling a girl I can't wait to see her graduate and I hope the best for her, I quit that same day because I broke up a fist fight and realized that I can't do this anymore. I was watching 26 suicidal children alone.
That's juvie or the psych ward? Where did
Juvie.
you go?
So it was a rehabilitation
juvie?
center. So we had girls for drugs, girls for violence. Either they were dropped off by a parole officer, and we also had girls that were dropped off
Sad
by their
girls.
families for being
Just
a little too sad. So they either wanted to kill themselves, each other, or me constantly. 25/8. I worked 15-hour shifts. One girl peed on me. It was not a fun time to work.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, nothing that
Yeah, you
crazy
know
in the
the-
psych ward. The only thing I was super psyched about is getting Gatorade, dude. I'd never been so excited over Gatorade in my goddamn life.
You only had water, and so when they're like, "Here's some Gatorade
In your meds, you're like, fuck yeah, Gatorade! Whoa! So,
that was the highlight
See,
of my time in psych
I
ward.
think the funkiest shit I've ever seen is in juvie. I think is these two girls that were cellmates. They decided they wanted to recreate Two Girls, One Cup.
No!
Broad daylight.
Oh.
Broad daylight.
No!
Yeah, imagine the guard that was on duty who had to go break that up.
Oh god. Oh
I would've
god.
quit
Oh.
on the spot.
Do you see why I
it's
quit
not what
now?
I signed up for.
It's a lot.
You just take off your badge.
That is
take
also
off
where
your
I
clothes,
figured out-
You set it on the
Juvie.
table.
I've never been
See-
there.
I paid enough for
See,
this.
juvie is where I figured out that I'm pansexual because women.
I don't know.
Oh,
if I
Pookie,
want
you
this
weren't gay
story.
for this day.
I'm
You
gonna-
were
I'm gonna
gay
look
5
you in the
ever.
eyes, and I don't know if I'm ready.
That was... Dude,
I don't
juvies
know
are
if I'm ready
wild.
for this story.
Oh god.
Dude.
Nothing happened. I just realized I like titties.
That's a valid argument.
I realized I didn't like titties at boot camp. That's how I knew I was
Understandable.
definitely unbelievably straight. As after you shower with 20 other women, in this
Fucking
one
yes.
fucking box area, I'm just like, yep, not into chicks, not into them. Why is
Wait,
it looking
did
at me?
y'all's
As I'm
have-
trying to.
Why is it looking at me?
Girls have what I call the prison showers, to where it's like if you get
Yeah,
two poles and then like the six pick. Yeah.
God, our two military people.
And that's
You just had a little.
and that's
fire
how
with,
you
like, the
know
stalls.
Shadow is not gay.
What branch did you go to boot camp for?
Navy. I did 4 in the Navy.
Oh, dude, I'm
Yeah.
I'm going there. I didn't get to finish with Marine Corps because they injured me and blamed it on me. But I'm going to Navy. So sorry. I nerd out. Hey, do you also have those really
Listen.
shitty showers? Yeah, just the fucking.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bro,
dude.
we basically go
Did you
to the
also have
same
to see
boot camp,
20
just
naked
y'all's is
people?
More fun because.
Oh, dude!
Yes.
There's no such thing as
Every
privacy. There's
fucking
no
night.
doors on the toilets. No, it's all out, dude.
So you
You
did...
know, if
Sounds
you're
like
taking
high
a
school
shit,
for
right?
me.
You're sitting here,
Everything.
you're taking a shit, right? You have a
You're
stall
making
directly
eye
across from
contact
you,
with the
and
person.
somebody comes over to take a shit in that one.
Oh, I would rather
You're
just shit in a
having
bush.
staring
All there.
contest with each other, talking
You guys
about
are all
the day.
together. You're
Oh,
all
I can't
there.
do that.
all
I am a
together.
shy pooper, bro. That I...
See,
Uh-uh.
that
Dude,
sounds like
especially in the
that sounds
shower.
like the boys' bathroom
Oh.
in high school.
Oh.
We went over this with Theo last time. My high school I went to my freshman sophomore year, they took the stall doors off in the boys' bathroom.
What the fuck?
We also had a unisex bathroom that had tally marks in it, so whenever someone got caught having sex in there, we would erase the tally marks. Our highest was 382.
Hello.
That's like a once-a-day deal. That's like
then-
Layler's finding time.
The
Christ on a stick.
The women's bathroom
That's
had
outrageous.
no mirrors because the girls kept putting lipstick on the mirrors and the janitors were just getting tired of it. We had metal detectors at every classroom door. Keep in mind this is a 3-story
didn't
high
go to
school.
a public
At
school.
every classroom door had
thought I did.
metal detectors, and every
thought I
front
did,
door,
but-
like entrance to the school, had metal detectors. We had 16 on
We went
campus
to
police
some sort of
officers with
privileged
4
ass
dogs.
school.
Oh,
And they
Lord.
searched every classroom
If you
with
ever
no
happen to see
warning.
this on this page, thank you for not letting me go to wherever the fuck they went. I'm glad I didn't go to public school.
W mom.
Twice, but thanks for never sending me there.
Oh my god, that sounds like a nightmare.
Oh, it got so much worse.
Hello?
They would go. The officers would go in your classrooms at random points during the week and search everyone in the class, including the teacher. And if you had something on you, you would grab your backpack. You would be getting arrested, and you would be in that cop car within 5 minutes.
Yo, I'm really glad I went to a privileged school.
And so the
Shit, the most we had was
Holy
like
shit.
right before I graduated, they added like fucking maglock doors and you just had to buzz your ass in. That was the only thing.
Yeah,
that
I was
was
about to
fancy
say,
of
the
mine.
only issue. Hello, the only issue we ever had was like they were telling kids stop throwing pencils in the ceilings, or I'm gonna fuck your mom.
Yeah.
Well, my teacher was
Yeah.
was in the U.S. Army for my history class, and he was like, hey, stop throwing shit into the ceiling. I'm gonna sleep with your mom. And so they stopped doing it. That was it. That's all he
That
had
is
to say.
awesome. That is a W move.
What the fuck?
The first day of my sophomore year, Nana, we had a bombing and shooting threat from the one senior that I knew from one class the year before. He went into military jail, and he got out 5 years later.
Oh, guys, boss, he's gonna be there for a while.
Y'all, we're getting a lot of lore. You know what? Goodbye, guys. We're gonna see you in the next Reddit episode. We're getting too deep in the lore.